In today's video, we're making a folio and then we're filling it with at least 4 inserts. Stay tuned. Hi everybody, it's Julie and I'm here with another element for the February Find It and Finish It Junk Journal Challenge. So I found this, you've seen me use these before. It's from the photo album. And it is part of my junk stash. And I have these stickers I might use, and I have this paper. So I am going to do fold. So one of my fancy folds is to fold this to become part of the journal. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it on closest to this outside piece here. See, fold right down at that piece, and the same on this one, fold it closest to the outside piece. And so one of these folds will become part of the binding, and the other piece will be able to fold over and fold in. So I'm folding a trifoldy little element here, and it is actually, I'm making this and it is going to hold my folio. So I have this piece. It was left from when we backed one of the other elements, and so I'm going to use my little thing here as a guide, and I know that I need the hole to be below this because I will put something in here and have it close it at the hole here. So I am going to cut this. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe we lost all of that of making this. So this is the folio that is going to go into this journal. I will go ahead and show you how I made this folio. We'll go ahead and finish that up. I'll make another one, and we'll use that in for my next journal. So let's go ahead and grab a paper that I can use in my next journal, which we are still using the same paper pad. We did some stuff with one of these papers this weekend. Well, that will give me this cool branding strip to use. Okay. So, okay, so let's go ahead and show you how to make the folio that we made. Now remember, the folio had a piece cut out of it. So this is what I started out with, was a piece similar to this. And so what I did was I measured this right here up against this, and I pulled this down to where I thought that oops, I'm sorry. Okay, and then I went ahead and marked it. Okay, and then I also got an idea of the largest that my card could be. Now I could pull one of these papers out and use that, and I marked that because this piece right here is going to be the biggest piece, and so that's why I'm marking that. Okay, I'm going to come over here, and I am going to use my scoring tool, and I am going to score this where I marked it, and I'm going to score this where I marked it. Okay. And that'll get me a good start right there. Okay. So I can go ahead and figure out what my measure is, just about 4. Okay, so now I'm going to turn my paper over, and I need to be at 3 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to put my line here at 3 3/4. I know that it needs to be smaller than this piece here, and I'm going to pull that down. Okay, and then my last one, I want it at 3 5/8, so just after a 1/2 inch. And we'll pull that down. Okay. Okay, so how tall did we end up? Go ahead and open this up so I can measure. Put that right on there. We're 5 15/16 is how tall we are, so almost 6. So, okay, so this is 12 inches this way. I'm going to go ahead and leave an 1.5 inches that way. So that way I'm going to measure to 10.5 over here, and I am going to cut this piece off. Okay, so originally when I did this, I cut this piece off thinking that at 1.5 inch wide, I can use the punch from Hobby Lobby, but I actually end up deciding to do something totally different. Okay, so I am going to cut this edge off here too. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cut this edge. And that was at 11.5. Okay, so I want to go ahead and fold all my pages. Well, when I was doing this and I folded it like this, I was like, wow, I really like the way that looks. Okay, I like this. I think this is going to be, this could be really cool. And so I went ahead and brought in my corner rounder, and I rounded this corner up here to make it look finished. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead, open it up, and fold my edges this way. So you'll notice that I always open up to fold. You can get a much cleaner and better fold by doing it that way. And so, okay, so I have my 3 pages, and now I have my 3 other pieces. So, you know, I'm going to want to get rid of the bulk here. So I'm going to come in here with just a sliver. Okay. And give it that. Okay. And we'll go ahead and we'll glue this down. I don't know if it'll stay, because I'm going to be doing other things, but well, it's definitely not going to stay if no glue comes out. Okay, here comes the glue. Here comes the glue. Okay, so this first pocket, this is the largest one, is going to get just your regular fold up, flip up pocket. Okay. The second one is going to get this really cool little tuck thing that we did. We do need to keep telling this who's boss. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and open this up. We're going to come up a sliver to the right of the line. and a sliver to the left of the line. And we're doing that to get rid of the bulk. We don't want to try and fold this over and have it keep all the bulk. Okay. Okay, so I don't know how we ended up not being straight, but we're not straight. You can use your cutter for this to make sure you're more straight than I am. Okay, and then we want this piece to be inside that line. It's not, so we're going to cut off some more from this side. So this could be some fancy folding, except for the fact that it's my folio, so it doesn't count. We have to do a separate folding element. Okay, so this is going to give me the tuck. Okay, and then this is going to be a flip down. Okay, do you see that? We're going to have a flip down from this piece. And then what I did was stamped up here, and I stamped down there with that stamp. And then I took one of the squares, it was one of the smaller squares, and put it on here. And I backed this part with a piece of the branding strip. Okay, so a piece of the branding strip across there. And then clean it up around the edges. And that gave me a beautiful tab on that. So, so the one other thing is then when I fold this up, I ended up with a little piece over here. And so that was when I decided to go ahead and take the bank envelope, or church, this is actually the church envelope, not the bank envelope. Okay, and we're going to be cutting this down. It's like, do we have anything to, yeah, go there. Isn't that funny? I don't have, nothing is scratch paper, right? Everything can be used, so it's like, oh no, I can't draw on that. I can't squiggle on that. Can't write that down on that because it's not scratch paper. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. And you could do this freehand. You want one straight side. And so this is about 1.5 inches. This piece is 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to glue it on here right at the edge, because there's not a whole lot of edge on this one. The other one had a little more edge. Okay, so I'm right on the edge. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And that's what gives me the flap. Now you could go ahead and, just bring your 1.5 inch over, but your flap is not going to have the resistance to hold it. And this one might not either, just because there's not a lot of area to grab from. Okay, but this is the folio that I made, and then I filled it. Okay. And remember, this was the, this right here. And so if you wanted to cut something out like that, if you like those lines, let's see, this is 5 inches by 4 3/4. Okay, so 5 inches wide and 4 3/4 long, something like that. Okay, but remember it was on there like this. Okay, so 5 inches down, 4 3/4 across, And again, this was on accident. I just really liked the way that this looked when I folded it up. So that is a folio, and I have that ready for the next journal that I'm going to be making. Yay! If you're here at the premiere, I'm waving hi, and say hello to Wiley. Hi, Wiley. I'm so glad you've joined us today. If this is your first Dear Julie premiere, just know that it is a pre-recorded video, but we use the premiere format so that we can take advantage of that live chat. You can join us in that live chat if you're here at the premiere by hitting that live chat button right down there. Come on over, say hello, introduce yourself, where you're from, and all of that. We'd love to get to know you. Also, we have our Scrap All About It with Dear Julie Facebook group. That is a place where you can post your projects, and it is our hub of everything Dear Julie, so it can keep you up to date and give you more information. And we get to know each other a little better over there. Also, don't forget that there is a free digital kit in the file section while we are home, safer at home. So let's get back to our program. Okay, so ended up, you saw that I was measuring. I took the original measurement for the front, and then I took another measurement, and this, well, we can measure. That would be the best way to do it, is to just go ahead and measure them. So I had a 12 by 12 paper, and my first measurement was in at about 3 3/4, and then my next one was at 3 7/8. No, 3 5/8. 3 5/8. So this one is 3 3/4, 3 5/8, and this last little one is at 3. Okay? And then from that part that I had cut off, I took the church envelope and I traced the fancy edge. I glued that down. This is what I ended up with for my February Find It and Finish It Junk Journal Challenge. This is the folio that I will be putting into the photo album page. I went ahead and tied up the bottom of the page. So this frame, this is vintage. This originally had a picture of myself and Shelley's grandfather, which is her mother's dad, my first husband. And so I know it's vintage. It was while we were dating, so it's over 37, 38 years. Well, it's over 38 years old. And so I went ahead. I thought it would be fun to add this. I've been adding gold touches. This was in my stash. And I just put it on here as a tuck. And then I'm going to write a note on here for Shelley from me. And that can go right in there. So it says, I love you to the moon and back. And so I did make a little file card with a frame. I attached it with a staple. It just goes right here. I used this piece from a calendar and attached it there. I used one of the little squares. You're going to see several of them that I used from the paper pad. So this piece flips down. We have a stamped image, and then the second stamp off gave us our faint. Okay, so you see the difference between those? So I got to mark off faint on off my list. Over here, I added in one of the pockets that I made with the Patreons. And so in their tooltip video, one of their tooltip videos, I used the We Are Memory Keepers pocket punch. and I made this pocket. And inside the pocket, I put some little things that Shelly can add into her journal if she likes, or she can just write on the back of that card. Then I also took another one of the scraps that I had, and I folded over the branding strip with the floral, and I glued it here. And well, first I folded it like this, used the punch, the tag punch from Hobby Lobby, and cut the top. Then I glued these two pieces down. Then I took and made out of two tags, I just attached them and put them in there, and we made a little notebook for here. So we have floral here and floral here, so I get to mark off floral. So we already marked off faint. We get to mark off floral. So if you're interested in what I'm doing here, this is part of the February Find It and Finish It Junk Journal Challenge here on this channel. And the description, or the details video, is in the description box down below. So I just printed off the list of the things that I need for this. So I had some little cards that were from a little Project Life photo album that I had. I added one of those Dollar Tree stickers here on top of some washi tape. One of those here. This little piece of lace decorative tape that I'm going to try. I'm trying to use that whole thing up in this journal, and that gave me the tag to put behind this. Really cool. So this was what we ended up with, because remember I started off with a scrap piece of paper. And so there's, that fits right into that pocket. And then this one, this insert is a flip up pocket with some of the little papers in it and a Project Life card. And all of that is in this pocket. And so all of this just goes right in here. It folds right up and should go under this little flap. And so there you go. And this will be living right inside here. So this is the one that will be going into the journal that I'm making. Okay, so, and it's going to be on these photo album pages. This is what we have, and this is how we filled it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I lost the footage of making all the inserts. I think they're kind of self-explanatory. And I would love to know if you are going to make a folio like this one. And yep, there's another thing that we can make with a 12 by 12 piece of paper. We can make have a little folio template that we use each time with your little pocket thing there. I just love it. So yeah, find something to celebrate. Don't forget to go watch one of these videos, because it really does help my channel. Have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye.